Right, so finally, Variety, the mainstream media, the authoritative sources, are realizing what we've been talking here on YouTube for the last 5 years, and that is the fact that Hollywood is dying. They're finally admitting that, okay, maybe it's not online trolls that are making movies to flop. Like, maybe it's not because Critical Drinker says that the movie is gay, and this seems to hold more weight than the entire $100 million marketing campaign that we put in the movie. No, maybe there's something else. Maybe something else is going on. And as you can see here, they're saying that sequels like Captain America and Paddington fall short, while original films like Black Flag and Mickey struggle. Right? So they're basically saying, well, we don't know what to do anymore. Like, up until now, we tried recycling franchises. So, like, we tried making a remake, we tried making a sequel or a prequel, right? And that doesn't work. So what we try now is making some original stuff, but that doesn't work either. What is going on here? Why are people failing to watch our movies? And I can tell you because I realized the main issue when I started making a video game, and apparently the issue for me making a video game is amplified 1,000 times fold when you're making a movie. And that issue is bureaucracy. I'm not even kidding. Like, Hollywood is a bureaucratic nightmare. They are not producing art anymore. They are producing a product. It's like a factory, like an industry, and you have standards that you need to maintain in absolutely everything. Like, you see, before, when it came to Hollywood, they would make a movie, and they would think like, okay, well, what does the American market like? And they would make an American movie for the Americans. And it turns out that other nations absolutely love that stuff. They absolutely love it, right? So, like, movies became international not because they were made for an international audience, but because people from other nations desperately wanted to see the film. Things are different now. Now, when they make a movie in America, they consider a global audience. So they're like, okay, what do the Chinese ban? Right? Well, the Chinese don't like LGBT issues. The Chinese don't like anything that's disparaging towards China. What do the Germans like? Well, the Germans don't like this and this and that, right? Like, what do the French not like? So they're basically like adding the entire censorship from the entire world, and then adding the American censorship and the taboos and the things you're not allowed to show. And then you have like a watered down product. It's incredibly bureaucratic. Like, if you have a vision and you want to put it on the big screen, chances are, like, there are a lot of themes you're not allowed. So, for instance, smoking. Smoking is a problem. You can't have smoking in a movie. Right? Drinking, drugs. Right? This is just like on the surface. On the surface of the issue. And when you go down and you go into the ESRB stuff, you know, like before you could show a titty and it would be fine. Now the standards have changed. So, like, before in Starship Troopers, you could show a titty, and that would be okay. Now, if you do that, your movie gets a worse rating. And so, you have the mindset that every single movie needs to be like a technological marvel. Like, it needs to have the best special effects. It needs to have, like, the most expensive cast. It needs to have this and that. And so, like, they invest hundreds of millions of dollars into movies, and then they require to make double that in order to justify their cost. But what if you were to just make a cheap movie? I mean, if you think about it, Squid Games, right? Like, Squid Games is not that expensive to make. Platform is not expensive to make. Train to Busan. Like, there are movies that are cheap to make, but they tell a nice story. And Hollywood used to do that. They would make cheap films, like the first Terminator, for instance. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard in an interview that they were so tight on a budget that they couldn't do the scene when Arnold Schwarzenegger breaks the window of a car. So they filmed him breaking the window of someone else's car. Like, they actually committed the crime when filming the movie. I don't know if that's true or a joke. But the idea is, like, they used to make movies on low budget. And the focus was on the script. The focus was on the acting. And they had, like, no-names actor back then. Right? Like, no one knew who Arnold Schwarzenegger was before they casted him in his first film. Like, they would basically say, all right, well, we need a person for this role that's muscular, that has, like, a stern face. And then they would actually cast it. They would find people that fit that, right? Now Hollywood doesn't do that. Now Hollywood, like, they want a recognizable face. And so they're bringing the geriatric squad, like they're bringing their old actors that are now in their 50s and their 60s, casting them for action movies, and it makes no sense. Like, this is Captain America? Why isn't he younger? Like, Captain America should be a guy in his 22, right? It's an action movie. You do action. You run around, you jump, you throw the shield, you're doing like all these acrobatics. It needs to look believable. I don't want to see Grandpa doing them. And so, like, that's one of the problems. The other problem is the actors themselves. All of them are extremely political. All of them have said shit in public that makes the audience cringe. I don't get that with Chinese actors. I don't get that with Japanese actors. South Korean actors don't have that problem, right? And so, like, if I go to see a movie and I know that Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it, all I can think is Arnold Schwarzenegger going online saying, fuck your freedoms. And my question is, like, why do I want to give money to that guy? He wants to fuck my freedoms. Why do I want to put food on his fucking table? And it's quite a shame, you know, because back in the day, Arnold Schwarzenegger was capable of attracting me to see a movie, not because of his political takes, but because of his acting. I mean, the man used to be a governor, for fuck's sakes, right? But he managed to separate his governorship from his acting career. Like, when I would go to see a movie from Arnold, I wouldn't think like Arnold the Republican. No, I was like, okay, this is Arnold, you know, he is a politician. He does that thing separately. But he's not lecturing the audience. When he said, fuck your freedoms, he said it like lecturing me. It's like, my way of thinking is wrong. And that's what pisses off the audience. And Arnold, by the way, is not even like the worst example. Like, you have Ziegler. That's, playing Snow White, and she's insulting the fairy tale, and she's like waging a war against gender stereotypes. It's like, I love gender stereotypes. Why would I put food on the table on someone that wants to destroy something that I like? Like they're being cheeky little shits on purpose and alienating half the audience. Because if you go into politics, and the politics, especially the United States, where it's a double party system, you got left and right, no matter what political take you have, you're going to alienate half the audience. Why even do that, right? So get new actors. Get new actors, because the ones that are currently in, not only that they're old, but they're also like extremely toxic for the fans. There are so many people that I know, like, no, I'm not going to see this movie because this guy's playing or that guy's playing. And someone needs to bust Harvey Weinstein out of prison. Like, I'm sorry it has come to this. It has fucking come to this, right? After Harvey Weinstein has been locked up, Hollywood was incapable of finding a replacement for him that can cast beautiful looking people. It used to be called a star because out of 350 million people that United States has, that person was like the most beautiful, like someone that would take your breath away. And when I go and I see Hollywood movies, all the women that are plain, they're like the aunt that you find at the grocery store. Like, come the fuck on, you know, like, look at India. Right, seriously, like, take a picture from India, just anywhere you want, just take a picture from an Indian marketplace, see how the people look, and then look at the Bollywood, and look at the type of people they're casting. Now, do the same for South Korea, right? Like, other nations realize that eye candy sells. Why are you casting, you know, like, people that are in a product that you want to sell, and you're casting average, plain, mediocre-looking people? I shouldn't be casted in a movie. There's no way that you should cast me in a movie. I'm fat. And so, right, like, if I go to see a movie, like, I want to see athletic-looking individuals, like, people in their peak conditioning. Because Bollywood does that, China does that, South Korea does that, America used to do that. So, like, go back to what worked if you want to restart Hollywood. And so, yeah, like, the first thing is to get rid of the bureaucracy, like, start making movies for America, stop caring what other countries like and don't like. In fact, as much artistic freedom as humanly possible, and let the audience decide, because the audience is the people that you want their money from. You know, if the audience wants to see slasher films with a lot of blood and gore, allow them to see that. Don't freak out. Oh my goodness, no, it's too much blood, it's too much gore, oh, we're going to get a bad rating. No, allow that in. If the audience like things like American Pie, where you get to see actors having sex on the big screen and it's like dirty jokes and shit, give them that. Fucking give them that, because you're making a product for them. Are you making a product for them, or are you trying to moralize the audience? If they want morals, they go to church or to the HR lady, depending on their religion. And so, if you don't get rid of the bureaucracy, you can never create shit. You know, I see a lot of Americans bitching about anime lately. Anime sells, unlike Hollywood, okay? Get your head out of your ass. If you want anime to fail, you don't do it by criticizing anime, because they're not going to listen, they're making money. Provide an alternative content that people want to see. I know you can do it. America used to make amazing films to the point where people would go like, what is anime? That's some cartoon shit, that's for kids. No, I want to see like actual things for adults. I want to see the Terminator. I want to see Sarah Connor. You know, like that's what people wanted to see. Because it was made as a cool stuff. You know, now if they would make Terminator, I bet that there would be a lot of Americans bitching. It's like, oh, but John Connor is but a child. He's but a child, and look, he's getting injured. He's getting hurt. Oh no, Sarah Connor is but a child. She's getting hurt. She's getting shot. There's violence towards the police officers. What message are we sending? You're not supposed to send a message. You're supposed to send entertainment, you dumb fuck. Because otherwise, other countries are going to outcompete you. And I want America to be great. Because I grew up with these films. I want them back. But I don't think I'm going to get them back with this culture. Anyway, right. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.